was just wondering if you would tell me how you came to draw your first Believe It or Not cartoon.
About 8 years ago, on a certain day when I was drawing pictures for a New York paper, I couldn't think of anything to draw, and I gathered up a lot of things on my desk. I put them on a page and sent them to the engraver. And for no reason at all, I call them Believe It or Not. I have the very original picture, the one that I made at that time, and I have it on my wall now, and I wouldn't part with it for anything. Now, there it is, and it's the first picture that I've ever made. Hello?
Mr. Ripley?
Yes?
I read somewhere in your cartoons that a person can jump through a hole in a cigarette paper.
Yes, that's true. Anyone can do that.
I don't see how it is possible for anyone to do this.
But if you come up, I'll prove it to you.
All right.
Goodbye. Now, while this young lady is on her way, I'd like to show you one of the most curious things that I've ever collected in the Believe It or Not Museum. Now, here is a bottle in which has been inserted a bedroom suite. It's been inserted through the mouth of this bottle, piece by piece, glued together with the aid of long tweezers and wire. It was made as long ago as 1874 by Mr. Robert. Come in?
Mr. Ripley?
Yes.
Do you expect me to jump through a little hole like this in a cigarette paper?
Well, yes, anyone can do that. You can. You see, you put a hole through it like this, and if you cut it in a fashion like this, you can easily jump through it. You fold it in a fashion this way, and then you cut it like this and that. And you see that? I follow that diagram. And now, when you open it out in this way, it'll fit right over your head. Be very still. Yep. Now you see, you jump through that hole. The cigarette paper, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Maybe you might be interested in some pictures I have drawn recently. A few of them have caused some comment. Now, for instance, I'll show you the picture of Abraham. Abraham was not a Jew. Abraham was a Babylonian. Einstein, the great mathematician, one time flunked in mathematics and failed to enter his school in Zurich. They say the air is free. However, in Holland, it was not. The Count Cercena sold air to all its inhabitants and charged everyone who owned a windmill for the privilege of using the air. Naturally, the most talkative person in the world is a woman. So I'm going to draw for you now the picture of a woman who can speak at the rate of more than 8 words a second. If any of you folks doubt this young lady can speak more than 8 words a second, she is here now, and I'd like to introduce her to you, Miss Conley. This young lady will now read from a page of more than 200 words. This is taken at random from a court record. This copy is entirely unfamiliar to her. And you can time her if you like, and you will see that she can read 200 words in 24 seconds.
Question, about what time was it when you reached home after the accident? Answer, I could not tell. Question, do you remember whether there was a doctor there at night? Answer, yes. The question, who was the doctor? Answer, Dr. Anders. Question, what did you do there, if you remember? Answer, do not know. Question, recollect whether he was there the next evening? Answer, yes. The question, how often did the doctor call? Answer, think it was more than 3 or 4 times a week. Question, at what time did she improve? Answer, a week or 2 after the accident. Question, I will ask you to state to the court and jury when it was and where it was that you saw Mrs. Howe the next time after the accident. Answer, was only a day or 2 after at her house. Question, how often did you call on Mrs. Howe? Answer, once or twice a week. Question, where did you see the doctor after you called Mrs. Howe the second time? Answer, in his house. Question, in his house? Answer, yes, at his house.
How would you like to try to win an argument from her? Now I'm going to show you the strangest man that I've ever seen in all my travels. I came across him a few years ago in the northern part of Africa, and he looked something like this. Although this man may not appear unusually strange now, however, at the time he had on his head horns more than 18 inches long. I couldn't bring him with me, but I did the next best thing. I took a photograph of him, which you will see now. This one may sound a little bit fishy, but there is a fish in the sea, a little small fish no larger than your hand, a jelly-like little thing that can destroy the largest and most ferocious man-eating shark that sails in the deep. It looks like this. It's called a diadem. It is a porcupine fish. And like the porcupine, it has quills on it. And when the shark swallows it, you can only imagine the result. Now, you just watch this shark. And now you see, this is the end of the shark. At about the same time that Lindy arrived in Paris, there arrived in this country, in the celestial home of Mr. and Mrs. Hop, a little Chinese boy. Now, usually the Chinese name their children after numbers. They call their first number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. However, Mr. and Mrs. Hop called their little Chinese boy after Lindy. They named him One Long Hop, and he looked something like this. This is One Long Hop, and I'd like to present him to you, if I may. Why, hello, One Long Hop.
Hello, Rick.
How are you? How about you coming out here and saying something to all these folks out here? Maybe you'd sing them a little song or something, huh? What can you sing?
Hello, baby.
Hello, baby.
Hello, baby. How do you do? Hello, baby. Do you? And just lipstick, no one else but me.
No boopity-doop singers here now. I'm going to put you right back in the paper, Van. Here, back you go. Right up there now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, One Long Hop.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Believe it or not,